I'm not gonna lie to you, this one hit different. It feels like one of those moments where you just sit back and go, wow, the window really is shifting right in front of us. As a fan who's watched every snap, every route, every big third down catch, you can feel that something big just changed for this team. And it's not just about one season, it's about identity, direction, and what the next version of the 49ers is really going to look like. There's been tension building for a while now. Little signs, little rumors, things that didn't quite add up. And now, all of a sudden, it feels like a chapter quietly closed, without most fans even realizing it was happening in real time. This isn't just another off-season move. This is one of those decisions that's going to ripple through the locker room, the cap, and the future of this roster. Before we get into all of that, though, real quick, if you're a true Niners fan like me, smash that like button, consider subscribing, because this channel is brand new, and we're trying to hit our first goal of 200 subscribers. No hot takes for clicks here, just real 49ers talk from fans who live and die with this team. Now let's talk about what just went down. Alright, so now we can finally say it out loud. This is real. Brandon Aiyuk has played his last snap in a San Francisco 49ers uniform. That's not speculation. That's not fans reading between the lines. That came straight from John Lynch, who flat out said the quiet part out loud. We can say with confidence he played his last game as a Niner. And man, that's heavy. 6 seasons. Drafted 25th overall back in 2020. Almost 4,000 receiving yards, 27 touchdowns, a second-team All-Pro, one of the cleanest route runners this franchise has had in a long time. For a stretch, he wasn't just a weapon. He was Brock Purdy's security blanket on third down. But everything changed 7 weeks into the 2024 season. That ACL and MCL tear wasn't just a physical setback, it cracked the relationship. Rehab issues started floating around, whispers that Aiyuk wasn't always present. Then the hammer dropped. The 49ers voided the guaranteed money in his contract for 2026, part of that massive $120 million deal. Once that happened, it was over. Trust gone. Direction changed. Business decision. So now the league is circling. And the real question is, where does Brandon Aiyuk land next? Let's walk through the 5 destinations that actually make sense. First up, the Las Vegas Raiders. This one is obvious. Their receiver room desperately needs a star. Outside of rookie running back Ashton Jeanty and tight end Brock Bowers, that offense was painful to watch. And with the Raiders holding the first overall pick, all signs point to them taking quarterback Fernando Mendoza. If that's your future, you have to protect him. You have to give him real weapons. And guess what? Vegas has money. A lot of it. Over $92 million in cap space, second most in the league, and potentially even more if Max Crosby moves on. Aiyuk wouldn't fix everything, but he'd instantly become the centerpiece of a young offensive core. This would be about patience and rebuilding the right way. Next, the Buffalo Bills. Bills fans have been through it lately. Another playoff heartbreak. Then shockwaves through the building. Head coach Sean McDermott fired after 9 years. And then ownership didn't hold back. Owner Terry Pagula and GM Brandon Beane openly criticized wide receiver Keon Coleman, basically saying he wasn't even their second option in the draft. That tells you everything. The Bills' receiver room fell apart late in the season. Injuries everywhere. At one point in the wildcard game against the Jacksonville Jaguars, they had 3 healthy receivers available. And yet, they still ask Josh Allen to play superhero every single week. Pairing Allen with Aiyuk, that's scary. Yes, Aiyuk's coming off a major injury, but talent like that next to a 2-time MVP could be exactly what Buffalo needs to finally kick the door down and get back to the Super Bowl. Then there's the Tennessee Titans. Another rebuild, but this one is quietly interesting. Rookie quarterback Cam Ward actually held his own. Over 3,100 yards, 15 touchdowns, just 7 picks. And he did it with almost nothing around him. No Titans receiver cracked 560 yards all season. That's unacceptable. The Titans used the first overall pick in the 2025 draft on Ward. That means you commit. And with nearly $100 million in cap space, the most in the league, they have zero excuses. They're expected to use the 4th overall pick this year on defense, possibly edge rusher Ruben Bain. So if that's the case, they have to spend in free agency to help their quarterback. Aiyuk would immediately become WR1 and give Ward a real chance to grow. Now, this next one is spicy, the Washington Commanders. This one feels personal. After that magical 2024 playoff run, expectations were sky high for quarterback Jaden Daniels. Instead, injuries wrecked the season. Daniels was never fully healthy, and the receiver group just couldn't stay on the field. But here's the thing. Aiyuk and Daniels already have chemistry. They played together at Arizona State. And on top of that, Washington already brought in Deebo Samuel last offseason. Deebo put up 727 yards and 6 touchdowns, but we all know he's at his best when he's not carrying the entire load. Imagine Aiyuk, Deebo, and Terry McLaurin on the field together. That's lethal. That's the kind of move that puts Washington right back in the NFC East race and gives Daniels the support he needs to explode in year 3. And finally, the one that hurts the most to even think about. The Seattle Seahawks. I hate it. You hate it. But it makes too much sense. Seattle has the cap space, about $79 million. They already have the Offensive Player of the Year favorite in Jackson Smith-Njigba, who went nuclear with over 1,900 yards. But after him, Cooper Kupp was the second option with under 600 yards. That's not enough. If Seattle adds Aiyuk, suddenly that offense is stacked. And from Aiyuk's perspective, that's a ready-made contender. No rebuild, no patience required, just winning. Whether they fall short this season or even hoist the Lombardi, the Seahawks clearly want to build something sustainable, maybe even a dynasty, and that's the reality check. As much as it hurts, Aiyuk probably wants to win now. Not wait. Not reset. That's why teams like Seattle or Buffalo feel more realistic than full rebuilds. So yeah, this is the end of an era. It hurts, but it also tells you where the 49ers are mentally. Contracts matter. Availability matters. Culture matters. And the front office is choosing their line in the sand. Now the pressure shifts elsewhere. Because if you let a talent like Brandon Aiyuk walk, you better be damn sure the next move gets this team back to the Super Bowl. And that's where we're at, Niner faithful. If you're riding with honest takes and real fan conversations, hit that like button, drop a comment with where you think Aiyuk ends up, and subscribe to 49ers Nation Report. The channel's brand new. We're pushing toward our first 200 subscribers, and this is just the beginning. We're in this together. Always.